Dear students, in this video lecture, we'll talk about the monitoring, the phasor measurement unit, smart meters, and measurements technologies, whatever we use in smart grid. Let us start about the introduction. Later we discuss about WAMS technology, what is wide area monitoring system, and what is the phasor measurement units, and what about the smart meters and advanced metering infrastructure what we are using for the smart grid. Let us brief about the communication technology whatever we are using. See, the smart grid environment it requires the upgrade of tools for sensing, metering and measurements at all the levels of the grid. So what happens here is at every level you need to measure the data, so you need to upgrade the measurement tools at every level. So because every point the decision making tool it depends on the sensing. So how the data is sensed by the sensor, and how the detection is completed, what is the response, how it evaluates the health of the equipment, integrity of the grid, these all factors are very important. Then what is the theft protection, how you are going to choose the consumers, what about the DSM technology, various grid monitoring functions. These all are the major issues of the monitoring technology. So the new digital technologies are employed, which are basically two-way communication technologies. The variety of inputs, the variety of outputs they are used, and they have the ability to connect and disconnect different type of devices. They are going to interface with generators, grid operators and customer portals, which are basically enhancing the power measurement. Let us discuss about the wide area wide area monitoring system. So wide area monitoring system is basically designed for utilities for the optimal capacity of the transmission grid. It will monitor the transmission grid and it will try to prevent the disturbances, maximum disturbances. That's why it is called as WAMS. It is monitoring system. It is not a controlling system, it is a monitoring system. So by providing some by using some real time information on the stability and by setting some operating margins, the wide area monitoring system gives some warning to the system so that the disturbance is going to happen. The prevention, what type of preventions you need to take, it will give some alarming signals to the system, so that will indirectly mitigate the system blackouts. The wide area monitoring system utilizes sensors and those sensors are distributed throughout the network in conjunction with the GPS satellite, because that is very important, where the devices are there, how the devices are connected, whether those all are interconnected or not. This is only possible by using the GPS satellite. So you need to set some time stamping for that, because measurement must be synchronized. So at a time the measurement should take place in case of transmission system. So the integrated sensors will interface the data to the communication network. So sensing is very important in case of wide area monitoring system. By using the efficient sensors, the data is communicated to the monitoring system, so that's why you can monitor the health condition of the any of the equipment which are there in the wide area monitoring system. Now let us discuss one of the most important device which is there in the transmission system, that is PMU. The long form of the PMU is the phasor measurement unit. It is also called as a synchro phasor. So what this device will do, this device will take the snapshot of the power system. Let me brief once again. Whatever the bus voltage is there, the phasor of that bus voltage and the branch current, phasor of the branch current, some additional information like the location, other network parameters, those all are monitored by the PMU. So along with the bus voltage and bus current, it will take the phase angle also. That's why it is phasor measurement in it. It will take the, along with the magnitude, it will take the phase angle also. So these phasor measurements are taken with high precision, different sensors which are situated in different point of the power system at the same instant, because that is the best feature of the PMU, that at the same instant it will capture the data from the different point. So that will allow the operator to visualize that what is the exact angular difference between the different locations. So from one location to another location, how the change is there in the voltage behavior, the phase angle is analyzed when they take the data from the different sensors, different locations. This is the conceptual diagram of the synchrophasor unit or the PMU. These are the different measurement unit they have used already. And what happens here is, this is the GPS device. So from all the GPS device, the signal is given to the individual centers. So now this is a central hub, control center. So from every center, the data is communicated. Can you see here? The data is communicated to the control center. So using the GPS system, at a time by using the GPS satellite, the data it will capture from different locations with the same time. That's why it is called as synchrophasor. It is called as synchronized phasor measurement system also. These PMUs are always equipped with the GPS receiver which will synchronize the readings which are taken at the different points. So PMU will ensure the voltage and current with high accuracy at the rate of around 2.88 kilohertz. So they can calculate the real power also, reactive power also, frequency also, and phase angle around 12 times per 60 hertz cycle, 12 times, because this is the difference between the SCADA and PMU. The speed of capturing the data is very higher as compared to the SCADA. So the actual sampling rate which is used to achieve this particular output is around 1.4 million hertz. So very high frequency device it is. Then let us talk about the smart meters. As the name itself suggests, it is a smart meter. The smart meters are the automatic meters where it will capture the data automatically. These smart meters have two functions. The very first function is, it will provide the data on energy usage, on the particular energy usage to the customer or end users to help the control cost and consumption. See, for example, daytime, if all the loads are used at a time, for example, the fridge, the washing machine, then the electronic gadgets, or the LED TV, or some of the iron boxes, electronic iron boxes, if all these are mixer, these all are used at a time, that may increase the sanctioned output also. So if that information is given to the customer that you are using maximum load of this particular at this particular instant, so some of the unused loads he may shut off to control the cost. Okay, so that is how the communication is done. Then another function of the smart meter is, it is sending data to the utility for load factor control. So whatever the load variation is going on in the customer level, that information is going to the sending level, or the person who is sending the data, so that he can control the factors, he can control the peak load requirements, what are the developing charges, pricing strategies based on the consuming information. These are all things, because once the data is going to the sender with effective manner, he can control the load patterns also. The development of smart meters is planned for basically for electricity. Basically, it is used for electricity, for monitoring the consumption very effectively, automatically, and it can be used for measuring the water level. Usually in residential purpose now, the smart meters are connected, where how much water you consumed in a particular day, that information can also be monitored or used by customer as well as the person who is monitoring that. And the the gas consumption, LPG gas consumption, for that also in many of the smart cities already smart meters are installed where the actual LPG gas consumption can be monitored, visualized at the customer level also, at the monitoring level also. The smart meters are equipped with the utility customers. They will give the knowledge about how much they are paying for kilowatt hour, kWh, kilowatt hour, how much they are paying, and how and when they consumed it, and what is their plan, how they can reduce the cost. These all things can be intimated to the customer. So this will result the better pricing information, and more accurate bills can be generated. There is no issue of the customer because every day the customer is monitored. The faster outage detection, restoration of the utility, those all things are possible by installing the smart meters. Now let us talk about the AMI, that is the advanced metering infrastructure, what we are using in a particular smart grid. The AMI is it's a convergence of the grid, the communication infrastructure and supporting infrastructure it is having. The network centered AMI device is coupled with lack of composite set of cross industry AMI security requirements. The primary motivation is every customer, if he has the AMI infrastructure, so his load can be monitored automatically. Now let us see what are the functions of AMI and how it can be subdivided into three major categories. Basically, let us take about the market applications. This will serve to reduce the labor transportation and infrastructure cost, whatever is there, those things are eliminated. As far as the customer applications are considered, it will serve to increase the customer awareness about the load reduction. It will also provide the demand response, load management to improve the system reliability as well as the performance. Then in case of distribution operations, it will allow for the location of outages and restoration of services, which will also improve the customer satisfaction, which also reduces the energy losses, which improves the performance in event of outages with reduced outages also. So this is the last point what I discussed about this. In the next video lecture, we'll talk about some of the Google mapping tools what we are going to use in a particular smart grid. Thank you.